Kelly Strojan is a registered dietitian that works at Club La Maison in Wayne. Kelly is here today to discuss the importance of proper eating habits and fitness in relation to obesity.
So I'm the only dietitian here, and basically it's one-on-one nutrition counseling. And most insurance plans nowadays do cover for nutritional counseling as a preventative medicine. So like I'm a provider with Independence Blue Cross, Aetna, Highmark. Certain Blue Cross Blue Shield plans are covered even if they're not local. AmeriHealth, Independence Administrator. So most insurance plans cover for at least 6 sessions.
Take a second and think about the families that can't afford insurance to provide them with proper eating guidelines or can't afford to eat healthy.
Skipping breakfast is a huge one. I'm sure you hear about how breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And basically, I find that when people do that, they tend to overeat later. So a lot of people tell me that they're not hungry in the morning, and typically that's because they're eating too much later in the day. So when you wake up, you're not going to be hungry. Or a lot of people are trying to cut out all carbs. I was interviewed for Philly.com a couple of weeks ago, but I really push eating whole grains, fruits and vegetables to get in your carbs. I definitely don't advocate eating refined flour or white breads to get in your grains. I tell people it's worse to do that than not to eat them at all. But I find that really is troublesome because that causes people to crave sweets or overeat when they do have access to pizza or something. And a lot of people, gluten-free is really trendy right now, so a lot of people are just going on that. And it's very hard to eat healthy unless you know exactly what you're doing. And I always recommend cooking your own grains instead of buying the gluten-free products because a lot of them are low in fiber and really high in calories. A lot of my older clients come to me and they say when they were growing up, there were no nutritional standards in the house. They could eat whatever. And now, later in life, they're really struggling. But I see little kids that are overweight or obese. Some of my high school clients have high cholesterol and stuff. And some kids are just eating horrendously. I have some that don't eat any vegetable during the day. They only eat chicken nuggets and pizza. And they drink fruit juice as a way to get in their fruit, which I tend to tell people that's basically the same thing as drinking soda. So, I think it's really important to at least give them the education when they're younger. And I do find that I'm really impressed by some of my elementary school clients. They know a lot more than their parents because some schools are pushing it more.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, more than 34.9% or 78.6 million adults in the U.S. are considered obese.
Obesity I would define as being, it's hard to say the ideal body weight. I would like to go by your percent body fat. I think if anyone's above 30, well, it depends for men or women. Definitely if a man is above 30% body fat, I would consider him obese. For a woman, probably above 35-40% body fat. Because the BMI is how they diagnose obesity. And they are using the waist to hip circumference, which I like that too. But with my clients, I take it on a case-to-case basis. I do their BMI, but I also take their body fat percentage using bioelectrical impedance. And between those two numbers, I generally have a good idea of where this person is health-wise. But it's usually based on their body fat level as opposed to just the BMI. Because I certainly have plenty of men. I even had a guy who was classified as obese according to BMI, but his body fat percentage was 12%. So I would definitely not say he's obese in the terms that we think of. I've heard 90% of weight loss is due to diet and 10% is due to exercise, because really there's people working out all the time, but if they're overeating calories, you're not going to see anything in terms of weight loss. But you can lose weight by not working out and just cutting down on your calories. Not that I advocate that. I always want people moving. And I also think that exercise puts you in a better mindset typically. But yeah, if you're not eating right, you're not going to get the most out of your workouts. And then also if you're eating too many calories, you're going to be actually gaining weight. Which actually is pretty common. I work with a lot of people training for marathons, and you would think that they would be losing weight running 10 20 miles each day, but I have people actually gaining because they're overestimating how many calories they're burning and trying to compensate through food. So definitely a sedentary lifestyle, and then just the processed quick foods. Because something I really stress with my clients is you have to really take the time to go grocery shopping and prepare your foods.
Preparing your own home-cooked meals is extremely healthy and a good choice. But for a second, think about the people that don't have time to prepare foods and are forced to buy unhealthy fast foods to feed their families because they are working 3 jobs a day just to keep the lights on and water running in the house.
I do think nutrition is incredibly important because, I mean, just people do tell they feel so much better. Like, people don't really realize how much better you could feel if you cut out like all the fast food, or not even fast food. If eating out, you generally get a ton of sodium and fat. So it's not, fast food gets a bad reputation, but even restaurant meals are usually not fantastic for you, depending on what you get. So just by like cutting that out and replacing it with more home cooked meals, people feel a lot better. Mentally, you'll feel better if you're eating healthy or exercising. So you can really make some crazy improvements in your life just by changing your diet. Eat like every 3 to 4 hours. Not necessarily a meal, but definitely like some form of small snack. And that's, yeah, I mean, I've been here for 4 years and I have some clients that I've been meeting with for almost 4 years. And a lot of people have made crazy transformations. So yeah, I've seen people drop a lot of weight. I've seen a lot of people, as I said, like improve their lipid profiles incredibly. Yeah, so I see good changes